your phone for pornography?
I don't know. That just seems weird and gross.
No, it doesn't. It's the most mobile, accessible way to get your shit off, man.
But listen, I can't be holding my phone while I'm touching myself. And then I'm touching my phone and nah.
Well, you should have your phone on a stand. Your phone should be able to stand, by itself on its own while you watch it. And then go wash your hands.
And then you gotta wash your phone.
Why you gotta wash your phone? Because it was dirty.
The phone's the best way, the same most accessible way to yank one out real quick. You're like, you know what? Let me go watch some porn real quick. Hold on for a minute. Let me take this phone with me. You know what I'm saying? Do that, bop, 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 bop. You're good.
Do you need a bigger screen? Do you want to see it? You can also, you got a smart TV. Just put it off your phone to your TV. Bam. Jerk off on your own, sir. Get it?
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Yeah, but yeah, anyways, I go by the name of Cobra Karate, sipping on this motherfucking Sprite, about to get right.
Yeah, and it's D-Mobile. I'm finally here. Let's do it.
Yeah, and it's KI double, drinking water, staying hydrated, minding my business.
There you go.
Whoa, we got guns this episode?
You know what I'm saying?
Is this a tutorial? And this is how you clean your gun.
I was just watching a bunch of AR ab videos.
Oh, I'm so motherfucking meat. You know what I'm saying? You talking about, yeah.
I like your shit.
About. You know what I'm saying? I'm from North Philly and everything like that.
Yo, AR ab is the best, bro.
I believe the thing he says.
That nigga really is a killer. And he's not ashamed to say it on camera.
Did you ever hear the interview when he was talking about how Cassie, when Cassie was like at the top, and how Cassie kind of like recruited him, whatever, and he was telling Cassie how he wanted to be fly too, and so Cassie took him to New York on Canal, some bootleg kicks.
Nah.
And said he was rocking them like that, and then he didn't he was rocking them for like months, whatever, and he didn't know they was bootlegging until niggas pointed the shit out. And he was like, "Yo, this nigga had millions buying me fucking bootleg kicks. I'm trying to hold him down." Shit. I was like, "That's fucked up shit."
Yo, AR is so Philly. It's funny because you watch nowadays, the joke is for people who talk New York. Back in the day, we used to make fun of West Coast. Hey, come over here, cuz. Fun of that.
I'm saying, what
now the joke is dead ass, for New York. People skipped over the whole Philly thing. Philly got their own everything. The way they talk, the way they walk.
Young Bull, the boy.
Yeah.
Boy, the boy, I'm saying.
Do they say John, or whatever that is? How do you say that? That's your John?
John, yeah, John. That John, yeah.
J-A-W-N or some shit, John.
I thought that was Maryland though. I thought that was DC.
No, they say that in Philly.
Young John, yeah.
Well, I guess maybe that whole area.
Probably, yeah. That whole, I just hate when niggas up here say it. I'm we don't talk like that. Never did, so it's don't talk like that. Period. I hate when niggas do that.
I hate when old niggas say young nigga shit.
Oh gosh.
I just hate it. And I'll be seeing Mike Jerry do it, and I'll be like, Mike, you're older than me.
So you don't say no cap?
No.
Yo, I just found out what that really means. I had to really look it up. I don't
when you be typing capital letters.
No, it doesn't.
I think that's where it started from. Capital letters meant I really mean what I'm saying.
So if you put
And then
no
that
cap, you
somehow
don't really mean what you're
became-
saying?
That's just what I thought. I thought no cap meant capital letters, sort of meant I really mean what I'm saying, which somehow became, oh, this nigga's lying if he puts capital letters and capping. At least that's what I thought.
That's different. That's different.
Why? What'd you find, Cobra?
Huh?
What's it mean?
I don't know.
You didn't get
Great.
the Urban Dictionary?
Oh no. As far as far as for that, I mean, what you call like with the whole, it was almost like when you say no cap, the way I interpret it, easy for me. Like when you say no cap, it means like I'm saying no bullshit.
Yes, but where did it come from? We know what it means.
I didn't check on
I'm
the
going with my definition. I think it meant people typing capital letters when they were trying to put a stamp on what they were saying, and somehow that became code for people bullshitting.
Mm-hmm.
Cap became your capping.
Oh, you're capping.
I mean, it makes sense.
It's the way people in the South say no bullshit.
That's not the South. They say that everywhere. They say
Yes.
But it originated in the South.
I
Like,
mean,
saying the same way Billy says John, and then people say John other places.
you cap it for the gram.
oh my God, capping for the gram.
No cap. Big cap. That means they bullshit for real.
So me and K.I. Double was we was talking about our Thanksgivings and how everything, how it went. So how did yours go, my brother? How did your Thanksgiving go? Even though I understand you wasn't around your family,
Nah, I was out here in the Berg, aka Pittsburgh, aka Ginsburg, and I had dinner with my Puerto Rican Pittsburgh family, and it was cool. It was peace. It was laid back. We did sketches, like drawing sketches. That was cool. I had a couple burrs.
Okay.
And that was cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And it was just chill and laid back. The thing is, I wanted to come home, but I don't want to be out and about and around motherfuckers, so I think it's better that I just stay where I was.
Because when you come home, you gotta see this person, you gotta see that person, this person want to see you, all that, and you gotta make an appearance here. So especially on Thanksgiving, you gotta make everything. So and I get you. I feel you 100%. My Thanksgiving started at 5, ended at 8. That's how it was. There was over 10 people. It was over 10.
This year, my brother said this year's a throwaway. We're throwing this one away.
It's done. Yeah.
Everybody just we'll reconvene next year.
Done, exactly. Because like my shit, like I figured it was a throwaway. I was like, all right, let me use this Thanksgiving for practice. So I bought a prime rib. Spent $80 on that motherfucker. Prime rib, right? Mm-hmm. Put that shit on the rotisserie in the air fryer. Came out pop. You know what I'm saying? But the only thing that sucks is that there's some people here that don't like eating medium well meat. It has to be well done. My nigga.
Oh,
$80.
Yes, niggas.
Son, $80 prime rib, son. You don't make an $80 prime rib fucking well done.
No.
So,
yeah, you may as well just go to the fridge, get you a $5 steak, throw that shit in George Foreman, leave me the fuck alone.
Basically. He was like, I was like, yo, fuck them. I'll eat this whole shit myself. This whole 4-pound of shit, my motherfucker. Son, yeah, so you know what I'm saying? So I had to make my piece, my pieces, you know what I'm saying, and give them the rest. But they have the freaking, what's the thing, the buffet tray thing?
Mm-hmm.
So that shit was in there, that shit ended up started cooking. So all of it was damn near almost well done and shit like that. So it was kind of like a waste almost, but it still came out good, but a little bit was dry and I was kind of a little bit pissed, but
So I mean, I feel you. I made my mama's famous fried chicken. I call it.
Okay.
I took her recipe and I had her FaceTime me, and I had to throw my own spin on it.
Okay. So it's not your mom's then. It's not your mom's. Go ahead.
Hold on. I started with her recipe, and then I threw a spin on it, and it went well. Everybody ate it. So what?
The only fried chicken, only two fried chicken, only fried chicken I'm eating when it comes to other people is your mom's, Butter, and Sherry, Sean's mom's. That's it when it comes to fried chicken. Swan's mom.
Oh yeah.
Swan, I mean, she gave me the recipe.
Well. Have you? It's probably. Is she a Burrell?
Yeah, she get. Well, she by injection.
Because I had. That's bad rude. I was at.
Swan, you my nigga. I love you.
How you gonna say that about somebody's mama? I was at the basketball thing last summer, and I had one of the Burrells. I think it was Doris.
Oh yeah.
I had some of her fried chicken. It was on point. But to this day, the only fried chicken that stood up to my mama's fried chicken is my man Ray Dog's fried chicken. Deshaun daddy.
Yo. He was actually here looking for you, DeMario. He made oxtails and fried chicken and
listen, that man throws down, bruh. His potato salad, his fried chicken, fried turkey, yams, all of that, I would put up against my mother's food. Like I would go, oh, this is as good as mom's.
You got them southern roots.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. See? Yo, and so the thing is, I've been around Puerto Ricans so long since for the holidays. Sometimes I forget all that shit. You know what I'm saying? Damn. Because I miss that. But you know.
We had a pretty regular Thanksgiving minus our friends. Our family's big enough, so everybody was here. But it was good. Everybody was here, enough food for everyone. Oh, somebody, damn, I didn't take a picture. Somebody made a cabbage pie. Nobody claimed it.
What?
So the next day, let me see if I can find it. So the next day, let me look.
You know who made that shit?
Who? Did I send it to you?
It was somebody in Auntie Linda's house.
It was Auntie Linda, actually. Did I send it to you?
No, you didn't.
Dang, I'm about to put it in the group. Let me just send it to y'all. So it's pretty gross. And I was asking who made it, but nobody claimed it. And I wonder why, because the shit looks like.
First of all, what possesses you to make fucking cabbage pie?
So it's not really a cabbage pie. I want you to look at the video. Sorry, you'll hear me talking. I just sent it to you guys. But watch the video, you'll hear me talking, and then see the pie. It looks like a cabbage pie. Let me pause it. Can you see this?
Oh my God. Why?
So it's actually an apple pie, but the shit don't look shit like apple pie. It's like, so you can go ahead and take this back, ma'am. We'll have it wrapped up for you. But there were a couple hits, a couple misses. The apple pie was a miss. That's all I'm gonna say because everybody else watched the show. So we're just gonna say that.
See, now the thing is, I wouldn't mind someone making a macaroni yam stuffing pie. I would try that shit.
It was actually an apple pie. It just looked like she used the wrong topping. So whatever topping she used looked like cabbage. I had to pick underneath it to see like, oh, there's apples. Oh, that was the topping that she tried to do. It just didn't work.
And it goes back.
Don't try no new shit on Thanksgiving.
See, and it goes back to what we was talking about last week. Keep that shit the motherfucking simple. Keep that motherfucking shit simple. When you did it right the first time, don't try some new shit the second time. Do that motherfucker like you did it the first time.
Yeah.
That's
Everybody was like, she can make apple pie from scratch. I was like, there's not Mrs. Dutch, Mrs. Buttersworth, whatever it is you buy, the 400 degrees, that's the type of apple pie I like. Give me that and we're good to go.
Keep that shit.
It's pretty bad, but other than that, and then let's see. Oh, it ended with almost a fight with the neighbors, but we avoided that. So it was a pretty eventful 2020 Thanksgiving. The neighbors were, I guess, just upset with the festivities of the holiday season. So they decided to vandalize the back hallway, dumping salt, spraying ketchup, rice, like the other salt that you use for snow. They kind of poured that all the way down the stairs, just vandalized the whole back hallway. So, the team that was here was locked and loaded and ready for war. But the owner of the house was like, really cool. Don't have no problem. That's okay. It's not my house. So what ended up happening is the landlord came the next day. He was pretty pissed because he had to clean all that shit up because no one else cleaned it up. But, people were downstairs banging on doors. It was about to be a very eventful Thanksgiving, but, we kept it together with class and dignity. It just kept playing bullshit, the game bullshit.
Why are you fighting with the neighbors?
It's never happened, honestly. There's never been a problem. Never. And if anything was too loud, we would have rather them, knocked on the door, or even called the cops. What they did was childish and disgusting. And I think it was the kids, actually, not the adults that live down there, I guess. But they've never been a problem. Like, she's never had anything like this happen until then. So I can understand if it's been a problem, but it ain't been no problem. And then it's just like, this has to happen. Why y'all couldn't just come say, hey, turn down the music, or hey, it's kind of loud, or whatever. And it wasn't loud, but.
I got into a fight with my neighbor once about the trash. And I just one of us claimed that it was the other person's trash in the back hallway. I just took the trash out. Mm-hmm. I don't know, man. You don't shit where you eat.
So explain that. You lost me there.
It doesn't make sense to fight with somebody that you got to live next to.
Yeah, it does. It does to a point. Because sometimes.
Go ahead.
I know this girl who got into a legit hands with her neighbor, and she ended up having to move. I don't want that trouble.
Yeah.
Get it.
Go ahead, Kylie.
I get it. It's about picking and choosing your battles. But some battles you just gotta fucking nigga put your shoes on and be ready to go. Cause the neighbor upstairs, at one point, she got 3 kids, and these motherfuckers is jumping up and down like, oh shit's like a trampoline upstairs. Mm-hmm. And then, nigga, it's like you jump in, the shit's fucking, the ceiling shit's about to fall and everything like that. Yeah, I mean, you just can't let certain shit like that go. So you gotta knock on the door. Niggas don't want to open the door. Then you gotta be like, okay, you know what? I gotta call the landlord now. And the landlord goes and curses you out. Then you come down talking about, oh, niggas is snitching? Niggas is snitching? Niggas is telling? Word? I was like, what the fuck you talking about?
Yo, if they come talking about niggas is snitching, I'll be like, yep, it's the landlord, I'm talking right now. Like,
but you knocked on the door and they didn't answer, right?
Yo, exactly. I was like, yo, we could have handled this shit civilly. You know what I'm saying? But now
we could have handled this shit like gentlemen. But if you want to get into some gangster shit,
we can do that.
Nah, that's how it was though. Because the neighbors here, like the neighbors upstairs, they fight all the time. Where like you can hear them. It sounds like they're in this house. Like it's like a domestic violence situation going on up there. They have kids and a dog, and you can always hear the kids running, like falling. Like you hear it a lot. And then you hear them fighting. Where my sister has literally called the police with concern, like, hey, something's going on, because they fight, but they don't give any trouble. The people downstairs, they steal packages. Time to get your ass beat. She can't even get packages into her house because anything, it could be a shirt. They walking around with the shirt on, like, did I order this? You didn't even get your package, but you see your neighbor walking with your whole outfit on, fly to death, got your whole outfit on. You're like, hold on, this is too much. So, that has happened. So the extent of issues with the neighbors here have been more so the one on the first floor with stealing packages. upstairs, they don't bother nobody. They're probably, getting their ass beat up, whatever's going on. They don't bother nobody though. They're just in a situation that they got going on, whatever that case is. But the people downstairs have sold packages and, have done little stuff before, but nothing major. And no one's called cops for anything, or no one's fought, or no one's even had words. So if Thanksgiving was too much, maybe you felt like it was too loud, or maybe it wasn't even 10 o'clock. So I don't even know what the issue was. Like, was it too late? So whatever the case may have been, a simple courtesy knock. Hey, turn on the music. Hey, got too many people in your household. Hey, well, I'm going to call the cops because I don't feel comfortable coming up there and knocking. All of that would have been a little bit more acceptable than vandalizing some property that's not even ours. So it's not like you ran up in this house and vandalized shit. So for, my sister's aspect, she's just like, I'm not stressing it. This isn't my house. I don't own this building. I'm not cleaning it up. Whoever made the mess will clean it up, or whoever owns this building will clean it up, because that's not my property. Now if they extend that vandalism to, the inside of the house or her car, then might be some hands placed on some people because it's a different level.
That's what I don't get. What were they thinking? Like, oh, now they gotta clean this up. Like, no, the fuck, we don't gotta clean this up.
Yeah, and that's what we stayed in the house and we kept playing. We was playing Family Feud, and then we kept playing bullshit. Like, we were playing family games, so we just kept it moving. But my mom was ready for war. I'm like, lady, go sit down. I hit her with you ain't gotta live here. She gotta live here. So she could calm down. These my neighbors. I hit her with that, but everybody else is pretty cool. Between my mom, obviously, and Nay, they was ready to run through the house.
I remember when they lived out in Providence, right? And so we go out there. I'm not even mention names who was there, but we go out there. We go after the club, whatever. He's over there. Another friend of ours is over there, whatever. Everybody's nice, whatever. So we about to give a friend of ours a ride back home, because we're going that way to Worcester. So we're posted out in front, waiting for our friend to come, not knowing it's one of the hottest blocks in Providence, whatever, near Broad Street, whatever. And so we're over here chilling. The dude, I guess the neighborhood, whatever, salesman, whatever, central worker, he's over there. He was like, oh, word? Niggas is posted up on the block. Word? Okay, how about I come back and let this shit, and go, wet this shit the fuck up. I'm turning around, look, I'm like, who the fuck is this nigga talking to? Like, what the fuck is going on? You know what I'm saying? And then I was like, oh, okay. And I'm like, I didn't say nothing. I was like, yeah, I don't even live here. I don't even be out here. But I had that thing with me, so You gotta start keeping Bibles in your trunk. That way, when niggas start getting stupid, you be like, "Sir, I'm not here to sell these Bibles. I don't know what you're talking about."
Pop the truck.
I'm trying to do the situation. I don't want to be like, "Yo, my man live here," and say, "I don't want to live here." Hold on. I didn't want to be like, "Yo, my man live here," blah blah. So our friend comes down the stairs talking about, "Yo, who that? What he talking about?" Oh shit, here we go. So our friend goes to the car and was like, yo, what's this? He's like, yo, we ain't even out here, blah, 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 this and that. It's not even like that. He goes, oh, okay, cool. Is this a misunderstanding? He's like, yeah, it's a misunderstanding. But what you talking about coming back wetting up the block, though? I'm like, oh, my God. Here we go. Oh, my God. Here we go. Hold on. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like waiting. And then he's like, nah, it's not like that. He goes, okay, whatever. Kind of diffuse the situation on a punk and saying whatever. But I'm like, all right, so now I gotta let this nigga know what went down, and now you gotta watch out now, whatever. But long story short, you're right. Pick and choose your battles. Don't shit where you sleep.
Yeah. I was very proud of my sister because she kept it cool. I'm pretty sure if she would have had a hot head, everybody else would have had a hot head too. But again, this is where she sleeps. She had no stress. She don't own this shit. So
if y'all wouldn't have been there, she would have been more amped up, because she knows that if she gets amped up, that y'all will get more amped up. So she chilled because y'all was there.
Yeah.
I almost got shot. I went out, I think it was Thanksgiving night. I went out to the store.
I almost got shot.
At like 1 a.m, and a couple niggas pull up to the gas station, and one of them goes in the store, and another was sitting in the passenger seat, and he says, "Hey, what's up, bro?" I'm like, "Hey, what's up, man?" And he said, hey, he goes, damn, man, I saw your car, man. And I was just thinking, damn, I'm about to pop this nigga. I'm like, what?
Over your car?
I'm like, what? And he was like, but you have a good evening, man. I was like, yeah, all right, man. The funny shit is, there was cops arrested somebody at the gas station pump. We're 20 feet away from the cops. And you know what I'm saying? I got that thing on me. So I'm already like, I don't know these niggas. So I literally had my hand on it when he was saying what's up to me. So I was like, yo, if I shoot this nigga, the cop's gonna kill me.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
Yeah.
If this nigga acts stupid and I shoot him, the cops are gonna be like, oh shit, and shoot me.
Yeah.
So it was a weird situation. Yo, he said something about he saw me and then he saw my car and then he thought he was gonna pop me and you have a good night. Something like that he said. And I was
so
like,
what does pop me mean in Pittsburgh? Maybe it's a different meaning. Like no cap. Maybe it has a different meaning.
I don't know, bro.
Maybe pop you means like say what's up.
The nigga was very nice to me. At the same time told me that he was gonna kill me.
Okay.
So,
unless it was like on some mistaken identity, thought you was somebody else. That's what he probably meant.
That's what he was saying. But
yeah,
he seemed like he was like kind of drunk a little too, like a little. I don't know.
Yeah, that's not cool. But like, yeah, let's get into it, man. Speaking of, since we're on Thanksgiving and everything like that, last week, a couple friends of mine, friends of ours, was discussing the difference between stuffing and dressing. All right. And so he was basically talking about
matter of fact, I almost got killed after y'all called me.
That's when that happened? Almost
right after that. But anyway, go ahead.
Wow. So over here, so he's talking about so a friend of mine was talking about how his mom, is cooking dressing. And no, he said stuffing. And I was like, yeah, that's cool, but I want some dressing. Then he was like, nigga, it's the same thing. I'm like, no, it's not. It's not the same thing. So we go back and forth into it and everything like that. And they was like, oh, what's the ingredients in this? What's the ingredients in that? How is it made? And blah, 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 this and that. And you can't look up Google. All right. And so it was just this big thing. We didn't get down to it. But for you guys, right? Is there a difference between stuffing and dressing?
Yes.
Yes. From my understanding, dressing is made from, you make cornbread and then you crumble it up and you put fixings in it and that becomes dressing. And stuffing, to my understanding, is like bread based.
Okay.
At least that's, again, to my understanding.
Yeah. Because basically, I was saying, one, I did say how it was made. And then two, I said dressing usually goes in and around the turkey. Well, I was saying that. And then a friend of ours, I'm going to say his name, Swan was like, nah, you know what? Dressing's made with like turkey and this and that, blah, blah, blah. Because one from jump, I was like, I don't know how it's made from scratch. I don't know. I know what I'm saying, but I know the difference between the two. And I was like, when it comes to dressing, when it comes to stuffing, stuffing's fucking stovetop. That's fucking stuffing. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And so we was going into it, whatever, like that. And then Drew was like, so Drew was there. Drew was like, oh, my mom calls them both. I was like, yo, but there's a difference. And then I was like, then he was like, no, that's what they call it. I was like, well, you know how black people use improper terms for certain shit. And that's what we called you, D. And I was like, basically, I was talking about how if someone says, hey, I'm going to eat spaghetti and meatballs, or if I'm going to eat spaghetti and everything, depending on who that person is, you know what they're talking about. Because for me, I didn't know the difference between spaghetti and meatballs and spaghetti and meat sauce until a couple years ago. I didn't know that shit. When you said spaghetti, nigga, if it had meatballs in it, if it had meat sauce in it, nigga, we was eating fucking spaghetti. If you go to a real proper person who knows the difference between different spaghettis, if you say it was just having spaghetti, they're gonna think it's just fucking pasta with sauce. That's it. They're not gonna think about meat and everything like that. That's what I was talking about, proper and improper terms.
Mm-hmm.
These motherfuckers, when they're drunk, they don't let motherfuckers get their point off. No, I didn't say that. You didn't say that.
No,
Whoa,
hold on.
Hey.
Don't blame niggas for being drunk, because when you get drunk, you start stopping niggas, and then when niggas start listening to what you gotta say, you don't say shit. That's what you did that night. You be like, listen, and then niggas will shut up, and then you won't say shit.
No, I don't.
You did that.
Okay, so there is a difference. So there is a difference between stuffing and dressing. And you guys are both right. Like DeMario said, it's more, dressing is more homemade. So you are making it from cornbread. Some people make their cornbread homemade. They don't even use Jiffy. So it's more of a homemade dish where you would consider stovetop, or what they say stuffing, to be more of like box mashed potatoes. So it's like having homemade mashed potatoes and box mashed potatoes. Those are the two differences. Like, and then dressing can come in different forms. Like there's seafood dressing, which I just seen 4 or 5 people make this year, which I had no idea about. So I'm be trying to figure out how to do that so I can make it. But there's seafood dressing, so it's more of a vegetarian base. Is the turkey dressing, and there's chicken based dressing, where they'll use either turkey broth or chicken broth. But both stuffing and dressing does go in the turkey and around the turkey. But it's more of whether you had a homemade dressing or if you got the boxed mashed potatoes, stovetop, or sometimes the stuffing actually comes in a bag too. Like Pepperidge Farm has like some type of bag stuffing, but it is more of like crouton-y, old bready type of filling, more than that cornbread homemade filling. But either way, it's more the white people way or the black people way or down south way versus up north way. Because down south, they have no idea what stuffing is, unless you work in a grocery store, you stock the shelf and you see stuffing. But they don't use stuffing. I used to be like, oh, that's stuffing. They're like, nah, that's dressing. And I kind of had to learn it when I first moved to Atlanta, what the difference was too. But there's a difference, and it don't taste the same.
I'm just gonna say it. If you take stuffing and do it your own way, I like that shit better.
All right. Listen, I'm not saying which one's better.
The bread base, and then you mix it with a little bit of turkey. You put a little bit of, and you cook it just right. I like that shit better than the cornbread one.
Is that the one you grew up on?
No.
You grew up on cornbread dressing?
Yeah, I grew up on the cornbread dressing, and until I was in my late 20s, I did not like dressing. Because
a lot of people can't make dressing.
I didn't like.
So you probably grew up on dressing and not liking it because whoever is making it, dressing is not something. It's kind of like who made the potato salad, who made the macaroni and cheese. There's one person that's making the dressing. It's not something that anybody.
Are you saying my mom can't make dressing?
Yeah, because I found that. I find that very high.
It just might not be.
You're being very inflammatory right now.
No, it just might not be to your taste, or you just don't.
My mama can make some dressing.
Okay.
I just don't like dressing.
Okay.
Well, no, stop. I'm not the biggest fan of dressing, and I've had it different kind of ways, different places. I'm just not that big a fan of it. The texture of it, I like the stuffing texture better. That's it.
I didn't like it. I didn't really like dressing until I got like in my like late teens. That's when I started liking dressing. Other than that, I was just like, nah, get that shit off the motherfucking turkey. Just give me the motherfucking turkey. That's it.
I'm going to be real controversial here.
I used to eat stovetop before dressing.
Yeah, see, my mother never made stovetop as a kid. I didn't have stovetop till I was an adult and made it myself.
Yeah, my mom didn't make it. I made it myself. My mom didn't make it, but we didn't have dressing growing up.
When I was like 16 to 17, I went to someone's house and they made stovetop into them, but they zhuzhed it up. Mm-hmm. And I thought it was the best thing in the world. I loved it. And I think they mixed it with the dressing, if I'm not mistaken, because I felt a little bit of that graininess of the cornbread in it. Mm-hmm. I thought it was the best. But anyway, I'm going to be real controversial. As a kid, I never was a fan of Thanksgiving because I do not really like turkey, dressing, gravy, cranberry sauce. All the things that you have for Thanksgiving are foods that I could do without. So I was never a big Thanksgiving person. People be like, oh, I can't wait for Thanksgiving meal. I'm like,
Right. Me as a kid, I wasn't a big fan of Thanksgiving. I always thought that Thanksgiving was the pre-party for Christmas.
Yeah.
That's why I was looked at.
It was Christmas without presents. That's the way I looked at Thanksgiving.
Exactly. Cause my thing, I was like, why do you like Thanksgiving that much when you don't even get no fucking presents? First of all, wow, what the hell is that? And I was like, yo, I'd rather this for Christmas.
Thanksgiving is when the family gets together and fights and no one gets presents. So I was like, I don't really like Thanksgiving.
My family doesn't fight on Thanksgiving. So I used to always love Thanksgiving because it was a family event for us. But I do agree, when I was younger, I didn't really care for turkey. I felt like turkey was a drier meat, until they started to fry the turkey and do other stuff to it. Then I liked it.
Until I started fucking with my nigga Ray Dog.
Till they started doing other stuff. But our Thanksgiving is literally typically like a whole, what would DeMario say, a family reunion spread or something? Like it's three different.
So the Thanksgiving at her house is literally like a buffet at a casino. There's rooms of different foods because it's like, I don't know, 30 people cooking.
That's what's up.
So yeah,
I miss those.
It's different. So like when I would go get plates at other people's houses, I would go get the traditional Thanksgiving shit. And then I would go to her house, her family's house, and I would get anything that was traditional Thanksgiving food.
You had barbecue ribs, you had curry chicken, you had oxtails, you had stewed chicken, you had all this. This is like, let me list the stuff that's on the menu.
The fucking Swedish meatballs.
Yeah, because I mean, because for the longest time,
the kielbasa with the grape jelly and the barbecue sauce and the you know what I'm talking about?
Oh, Hasty be killing that. That shit never
I got that from your house then. I didn't get that from her house.
Yeah, I was like, wait, what's that? I don't think I had that.
Yeah, I got that from your house.
It got like she does it in the crock pot.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, that shit is bomb. I don't know how to make it, but all I know is it's grape jelly, barbecue sauce, and the beef kielbasa. You put that shit in the slow cooker and magic.
Grape jelly and barbecue sauce? Ooh, okay.
Yeah,
I believe that's how it's made.
Loves it. I'm tired of it, but everybody fucking
loves it.
Like,
try that, Hasa. Try that.
That shit is the perfect break from the regular shit. So you put that on your plate, right? And you eat the regular shit. You're like, I'm sick of the regular shit. Let me take a break. And then you get some of that shit.
Yeah.
Well, what about the different in menus? Like when you go to, like you said, the regular shit, most people just have turkey, mashed potatoes, a corn souffle, sweet potato souffle, and then that's it.
My mother has never made mashed potatoes on Thanksgiving.
Mine either. I think it's a white thing.
White
people.
I remember ever having those at it like that. I really don't.
Mashed potatoes and turkey is kind of like perfect together, if we're being honest.
What?
I think mashed potatoes and turkey kind of go perfect together. But
yeah, it does. With some cranberry sauce.
My mother's ever made mashed potatoes with turkey.
No.
My mother has made collard greens, cabbage, and shit like that on Thanksgiving, but I don't think she's ever made.
I haven't had greens in probably like 3 years.
You should have came and got some. Those were like almost the first things gone this year, though. Yeah. Not gonna lie.
No, the first thing that's gone is the beef ribs every fucking time.
Nah, they're still here. Whole pan.
DeMario,
I overnight my dad a plate. I sent him a plate. He got it yesterday and he fucked it up. He was like, "Thank you so much for the food."
So you're telling me you still have beef ribs in your house?
A pan of beef. I'm looking at it. A pan of beef ribs.
Every time I go there, I have to have someone hide me a beef rib.
Nope, a pan of beef ribs.
That's the thing. That's the thing, yo. And that's the thing. Like when you go to places like that, we go to people's houses. I'm like, yo, for the people that don't, for the people that eat pork, eat the pork shit. Do not eat beef shit, especially if there's beef ribs and pork ribs of the fucking pepperoni pizza and regular cheese pizza. Like, yo, if pork products, eat the fucking pork products. Yeah. This other shit, leave people that don't.
I guarantee you, there's like 2 people here that don't eat pork, and they all ate the beef ribs before they ate the pork. And Demario's probably the only other person that's missing that would have the beef ribs. But everyone else, so they ate the beef ribs first.
Yeah, listen. I would come into the house. I would make me a plate. I would take a beef. If she didn't already stash me one, I would make my plate, and then I would take a beef rib and stash that shit somewhere to make sure it's something for later. Because the shit goes fast.
Yeah, you gotta do that for Jorge's lasagna. You gotta do that shit for Jorge's lasagna. As soon as that shit comes out, if you right there, you gotta take it, put it away.
You or Hazel would always stash me a piece of lasagna, and I love you for it. That's what. Yo, listen.
Niggas be fucking up.
Thanksgiving meal?
Huh?
Is lasagna a Thanksgiving meal?
At a Puerto Rican?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know Puerto Ricans throw
Black House?
Some sort of.
I think that's London used to make lasagna randomly, and we'd be like, why?
Puerto Rican people throw some sort of lasagna or pasta dish in every function. Mm-hmm. If you go to a quinceañera, you're gonna get a plate of
lasagna.
Rice and beans, some form of chicken, some mashed potato salad, and some form of pasta, preferably lasagna. Sometimes it's a pastelón.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
I was going to say Mexico, but when I was in Houston last year, I remember my job pre-COVID, we had a potluck, and like every Mexican made, what do they call tostones or something like that?
What is it?
They're like wrapped in something. There's some type of
tamales.
Tamales, yeah.
Tamales.
That's big. That's big. That's all they have. That's their Thanksgiving tradition. Everybody.
Tamales.
They're like, we can make you one with cheese. I was like, nah, I'm straight.
Yeah. So we moving on from food. So it looks like everybody, had a good Thanksgiving. So man, to speed things up, let me switch gears. Have any of you guys seen the new Kevin Hart special, Zero Fucks Given, on Netflix?
No.
Me neither. Okay, so since it came out, I guess it came out last year. Last week. Mm-hmm. Since it came out last week, he's been receiving a lot of backlash, and he's been doing a lot of cleanup and a lot of social media press and addressing certain things. And I don't like it.
He's been acting like a bitch.
Yeah. So, he's so I guess this was his most controversy, I'm saying controversial, racy stand-up ever. I'm saying for him.
Really?
And now,
Is that really?
Yeah. And I guess there was a joke he was talking about his daughter was doing whole shit. And I guess everybody was giving him backlash about it. And he's not really handling it well. And he's like going on different social media platforms and addressing it and doing cleanup on it and everything like that. And
that's why you don't get online when you're in your feelings. But go ahead.
And he always does that. Remember when he cheated and got up there crying?
And then and then Dave Chapelle, he comes out with his Unforgiven. I wouldn't call it a comedy special. It was mostly just PSA, so to saying, a PSA.
Yo, that shit is annoying. That shit is annoying.
I love it.
Listen, I love Dave Chapelle.
Go ahead.
He needs to stop coming out with lectures and calling them shit stand up.
Nah, but
you don't call.
Didn't he? Was that the end?
Those shits, they're great. They're interesting. They're sort of funny. It's not stand up, bro. It's a lecture.
But wait, Unforgiven, is that 20 minutes? It's about 20 minutes?
About that, yeah.
Okay, so I think that's just the end. I think that's when he performed at Houston, DeMario. He just ended with that. He performed.
But I'm saying, come on, that's not new. He's been doing this for about maybe 2 years now. He's been putting out these stand-up bits that is literally just him educating people.
But the thing is, right. But the thing is, I don't think he's calling them stand-ups. Other people and the powers that be are labeling that as stand-ups. Other than that, it's like, what category would that fall under? You know what I'm saying?
When you're a comedian and you're on stage with a mic in your hand, that's just supposed to be a stand-up bit. Again, let me reiterate, because I iterated it before. I do it again. I reiterate it.
Iterate that. Go ahead.
I think he's hilarious. And the thing he's saying on his little talks is I'm sitting there like this listening, but that shit ain't stand up. And
again, but he's not saying this stand up. They're just categorizing it as stand up because majority of the time it's a part of one of his stand ups, and they just take that video segment and they just put it out there like that. But I don't think he's calling that a stand up. It's probably part of one of his stand ups that he's doing, but I don't think he's doing it and pushing it as stand up. But basically, what I'm talking about with the whole thing is there's definitely a difference between Dave Chappelle and Kevin Hart. Not necessarily the funniness. I'm talking about the freedom. I'm saying the freedom on what Dave Chappelle could say. He would see backlash and be like, yo, I don't give a fuck. That's me. To the point where Kevin Hart, he can't say certain things because he doesn't have that freedom to do so.
But when you go off brand, that's what happens. Dave Chappelle's brand is being political and blah. Kevin Hart's brand is just being silly and being funny. So if you go off brand, motherfuckers gonna come at you. It's like that comedian Lisa Lampanelli, she used to do bad, inappropriate jokes, like racist jokes. And if anyone else did that, it would have been a problem. But because that was her shtick, it wasn't a problem. You know what I'm saying? When you go off brand, you start, you know what I'm saying, start beef.
Yep, and that's the thing. And I don't think that, I don't know, for some reason it doesn't look like Kevin Hart's really understanding that. He's basically, you know, his whole thing is, yo, it's just a joke, it's just comedy. But it's just like some people don't want to hear that from you, and some people aren't ready to hear that from you.
Yeah.
Because you have this clean image, you know, squeaky clean image, you know, to the point where it's just like, you know, you got this, you know, you got all these networks and, you know, you're trying to do the Oscar, trying to host the Oscars and all that shit. So you have to, you know, portray this certain image where you don't have that freedom to be you. You know what I'm saying? To the point where Dave Chappelle, he could just be him all day long and still do it in his comedy and everything like that, and nothing happens. But
I also think Dave Chappelle has been through a lot of shit too. He's been in the business longer. He's had different, you know, obstacles to overcome throughout his career. So I think he's at the point in his career where he's fed up with some of the shit. Like now he's again taking control of his own shit, his masters, all of his shit that he's created. Kevin Hart, like you said, he's kind of the puppet. You know, he's working for someone. He's not. He does have his own stuff. Don't get me wrong. I'm not going to discredit him. He does have his own shit. Huh?
I didn't say he was a puppet.
No.
I'm saying that's just my opinion. I'm not saying you think that. As far as like in the entertainment world.
Kevin Hart is a black comedian. Dave Chappelle is a black comedian. Kevin Hart has probably been through the same bullshit that Dave Chappelle has been through. It's just Kevin Hart decides not to make that what his comedy is about.
Period. You think so?
Absolutely.
So do you think? Did you watch Unforgiven?
No.
Okay, so watch that first. Because the shit that Dave Chappelle is talking about in that 20, it's only a 20-minute or 18-minute clip. I watched it the other night.
The things separated. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
The things that separated is Dave Chappelle had a show, and Dave Chappelle's comedy is more political. So, of course, Dave Chappelle has those things that Kevin Hart didn't have to deal with. But as far as being a black comedian in the world, they've been through the same shit.
Because at one point, because Kevin Hart was damn near blacklisted from comedy for like 10 years.
Because he made a
And then he had resurgence. He had this whole resurgence where he started doing little things here and there. Like basically Shaq helped him out a lot. Him jumping on Shaq's comedy all-star, whatever, and him doing that shit helped a lot.
Why was he blacklisted? Was it over the gay comment? The gay joke?
Nah. His whole thing goes, I remember when Kevin Hart was first starting, he did a movie on the Dame Dash movie, Paper Soldiers. And after he did Soul Plane, he was just basically like, niggas wasn't fucking with him. Like, I don't know if it has something to do with his work ethic or what he was doing. Like, I don't know. But he talks about a lot how he was blacklisted for like 10 years. Like in the comedy shit, and he kind of had to reinvent his whole shit. But he, you know, but yeah, it's like that freedom, you know, like Dave Chappelle Dave Chappelle's comedy always been on that political. I'm fighting against the man type of comedy. You know, you can see he always had that. Huh?
Dave Chappelle, and this is it. I don't think Dave Chappelle has the freedom that you're talking about because he still gets shit for the shit he says. Mm-hmm. It's just that he is like, fuck it. So when you're like, fuck it, how much shit can you give me? If I'm like, yeah, well, whatever, fuck it.
The reason why I say he has the freedom is because he could say certain things. He could say certain things that won't affect his money to the point where it'll affect Kevin Hart's money. Like for instance, Dave Chappelle doing the transgender joke and him talking about the transgender and everything like that, and how the transgender came up on him and kind of like applauded him. Kevin Hart would never be able to step in that space or even say anything transgender or anything
but
like
that. Because it's our brand.
Right, because our brand lose a lot of brands. I'm saying he'll lose a lot of brands by doing that. That's what I'm talking about with the freedom. Dave Chappelle can say anything damn near he wants and he will not lose any money. He'll basically gain more of a following for being outspoken and for speaking out to the point where
that's his brand. His brand is to say inflammatory political shit. You know what I mean? It isn't.
But that's not a stick. That's not a stick. How he truly really feels. It's not a.
What I'm saying to you is, Dave Chappelle is the show that would come on at 10 o'clock. Kevin Hart is the show that will come on at 8 o'clock.
Right.
And it's just that simple. So the 8 o'clock show can never say the shit that the 11 o'clock show can say. And the vice versa is true. If the 11 o'clock show did PC safe shit, he would catch shit for that. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think it's necessarily a freedom thing. It's the different brands.
Nah, but I wouldn't even say Dave Chappelle. See, when you talk about brand, it kind of sounds like you're talking about like it's almost like a fancy way of saying gimmick.
That's what it is. That's exactly what it is.
Because anything that Dave Chappelle, I don't think Dave Chappelle is like doing a gimmick. Like he really truly believes that.
But a gimmick doesn't have to be fake. A gimmick doesn't have to be fake. A gimmick is just what you do. It's your hook. It's what draws people to you. It doesn't have to be fake. It can be completely you, but that's your gimmick. If I'm a wrestler and my gimmick is the fat black guy, that's my gimmick though. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, because when you talk about gimmick, it's almost like I'm saying a character. I'm saying a character.
Yes, it is a character. It's a
right,
character.
Right, but with characters, even with characters, you're still able to live and do things beyond what you would normally do. So that's why it becomes a character, something that's not actually real, but somewhere where I'm saying that has some true elements to it, but you could live outside of your normal self. When you talk about character, not about gimmick.
Fake is what I'm saying. What I'm saying to you is, I was listening to a podcast and they were talking about Queen Latifah and talking about Queen Latifah pulling guns on niggas, beating niggas up, knocking niggas out and whatnot. Queen Latifah's brand is not that. So she's not going to talk about that in her work.
Right.
It's who she is as well. Kevin Hart has been through some real shit that Dave Chappelle has been through, but that's not his brand. That's not his gimmick. That's not his character. So he's going to present the other thing. And that's just the way show business is.
But the thing is what I say to that is because every day out of Kevin Hart's life, with his brand, he does not live. Every day out his life. Because if that was the case, because that was the case when he got caught cheating on his wife, everybody would have been say it wouldn't have been a big thing. Because when he talked about it, he was like, yo, usually when I'm out and about in all these places, my guys hold me back and my guys are there to hold me down and to take me into and to keep me safe from that. Meaning this nigga's talking about, yo, he's a nigga. I'm saying he be looking at this, he be partying hard and everything like that, but he got people around him that keep him grounded. So therefore, he's not living his brand. That's not his everyday thing.
Yeah.
You say you kind of get what I'm saying?
That was kind of my point about him being a puppet, because to me, Dave Chappelle is on a fuck it, I'm on my own type of shit. And Kevin Hart is still looking for approval. Like you said, he did all of this shit that fucked up his career at one point. He got backlash. So now he's trying to get back in that realm. He's done other stuff, like he got dropped from the Oscars. He got dropped about the gay joke. He's done other shit. He got caught cheating. He lost some sponsors and lost some shit from that. So he's like taking some L's throughout the way. But I don't think that Kevin Hart has the I don't give a fuck your couch type of attitude that Dave Chapelle has. Like Dave Chapelle left his show at the top. You think Kevin Hart will leave somewhere at the top because of a mental thing or because of Hollywood or because of that? No, I think Kevin Hart is a hard worker. I think he's out here making his money and he's making his brand. He's building his brand. And that's the image he wants to have. So he does this documentary. He says a bunch of jokes. I thought we were talking about how people don't think it's funny because I heard a lot of the Black community don't think it's funny. Some of the white people think it's funny, but then there's some Black people that did think it was funny. And he's talking about how Black people don't support now. So that's his whole thing. And that was kind of what, I was going to talk about, like how they kind of get to a certain peak and then they stop realizing that Black people are the ones that support them. And if it was corny, we're just going to let you know it's corny because we support you, but you're going to tell us we don't support you because we're telling you it's corny. So I don't know. I think they're two different people. I think that Kevin Hart is more looking and trying to keep that approval and consistently build his brand, where Dave Chapelle has a fuck you, I'm gonna build my own country type of brand. He's not looking for approval. He's just trying to get what's deserved to him and continue to create and be a creator.
And even with that, when you talk about Queen Latifah, when Queen Latifah first came out, she was this strong, independent Black lady. I'm not taking, say no shit from nobody. Ladies first type shit. She always been that. When she started getting that big time paper, that money, that image changed. That whole I'm an independent, I'll fuck you up type shit and everything like that. That shit turned, I'm saying she drew that back a little bit because
they're not gonna make money doing that. They're not exactly. You're not marketable. You can't she can't do a movie. The movies that she did with that type of image or that type of brand carrying her around or following her around.
Not saying that she's tap dancing. I'm not saying that she's tap dancing, but basically she was like, yo, there's a bigger play and I'm getting to that bigger money.
But it is tap dancing.
It is.
And we got into this argument when we was at the radio station that time. Every time you get up in the morning and you lace up your boots and you go to work, you're tap dancing. So for us to look at motherfuckers who draw the line at a different place as if I think it's whack, it's hypocritical. It's hypocritical. Dave Chapelle said that his father told him to name his price.
Yep.
And when it became too much, you walk away. He did that. He came back and he was like, yo, I'm on some fucking shit. Now the fucking shit is his brand. That is his gimmick.
I don't think it is.
Wait. Real or fake is not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that is the product he sells now. He sells the I don't give a shit. That's what he's selling now. All right. Kevin Hart is selling the wholesome, I just want to make people laugh gimmick. That is what he's selling. Whether or not that is really them or really isn't them is what I'm saying is we can't confirm nor deny that.
So you're right. But what is the difference between, so Kevin Hart's comedy, his stand-up comedy has always been about his family, his own experiences and things that he's been through in life. And sometimes that shit's funny and sometimes it's not. I don't watch plenty of Kevin Hart movies and stand-ups, and some of them I laugh and the majority of them I don't. So I don't understand the problem with him saying his daughter's on some hoe shit. That's him describing some shit. His daughter's like 15, 16. That's usually when they could potentially drop into that hoe shit because they're watching Meg, they're watching Cardi. They're thinking these are grown-ass women is something I want to be like. So they might be on some fucking hoe shit that they don't need to be on, or listen to City Girls, or not saying that that's what his daughter is doing, but some girls at their age are doing that. So if he's picking up little things along the way about his daughter and said that she was on some whole shit, whatever that joke is, I definitely want to hear it and see it because I don't see what the controversy is.
That's the problem. Well, that's the problem that's the problem when you get into your brand and people want to keep you in there because you say something that's slightly off brand, they're coming at you. You know what I'm saying? Kevin Hart is trying to keep it real. But they're like, no, stay in that box that you were in. You know what I mean?
Because when you do Disney Pixar movies, you have to, I'm saying you have to abide by certain guidelines. There's some things that you can't do, or I'm saying that don't abide by those Disney Pixar guidelines. You know, this like this is who you are, this is who we accepted you, and this is who you came here with, you know, with that. So everything has to be that. This has to be your brand. Well, on the other hand, with Dave Chapelle, he always been on some fucking shit with his comedy. It just wasn't that intense because he was still up and coming, and you know he hadn't saying he still had to make money. But now when you talk about whole tap dancing, people getting up for work and everything like that, lace on the boots and tap dancing, there's a difference between working for somebody and working for your own. Mm-hmm. What Dave Chapelle is doing, he's working for his own because he does shit the way he wants to. Now, as far as for Kevin Hart, yes, he's doing his own, but he still has these guidelines that he has to abide by or he will lose it all.
Because he had different partnerships. I just don't get the problem. Like, I don't get the controversy. Isn't the title of the documentary like "fuck this shit" or "fuck shit" or "bullshit"? Or something?
But the thing is,
I'm saying, given. So right. He's talking about shit and don't care about, you know, like he's.
But you gotta understand who Kevin Hart appeals to. He appeals to a lot of suburban families that have kids that watch him because he has a lot.
And that's exactly why now he has to go do damage control. So he's left his Black community who does support him, who's told him his shit was starting to get corny along the way. And he kept doing these corny movies and these corny stand-ups. And he does another one where some people are not feeling it and they're commenting like, this is kind of corny. All the Black people or even medias have just said whether it was good or bad, not coming at a specific joke. Now you have your white side of media that are going to attack the specific jokes that you're talking about, because now you're going to offend people because it's outside of, like you said, that box that we put you in.
Wait, when did he leave his Black audience? When did he leave them?
He just said, like, he just tweeted and said something about Black people don't support, or like they're always like kind of talking to, like, I guess he's been tweeting a lot this weekend. So I happened to read something small this morning, so I don't even know. I'm not going to give all details. If I figure it out and find it, I'll share it. But he said something about the Black community, because I know a girl came back and retweeted what he said. And she was just saying like, you know, she hates how artists make it to the top and then forget about how they got there. Kind of how Jay-Z, when he bought Tidal, and he was like, well, you know, it's like the Tidal sales were down, and he was just like, you don't get that same constant support from your urban community. When he had Tidal at first, he was talking about how the Black people didn't support it. And then Kevin Hart is talking about how they're not supporting this documentary, and they're coming at it. Cause like they had memes of like people sleeping, watching it. Like they said it was whack. So they just said he wasn't funny. He got rich money. He's selling rich jokes and nobody cares. White people are laughing at that. So he's losing that community of what kind of got Kevin Hart to where he is. And then he's not taking, I guess, the critique, however you want to take it. You don't have to take it to heart and change your whole fucking platform, but you can understand some people are not liking it, or some people are not laughing. But those that did go and pay attention are now critiquing the shit that you said. So what would you rather have? If, I don't know, I'm not an artist or a stand-up comedian. I would want people to laugh at my fucking jokes and like it and not critique the shit. It's a fucking joke.
But that's why I talk about the freedoms of what he could do and what he can do. And at the same time, it's like when more money comes into a production on who you're catering to, you can't have that same edge, and shit will have to be watered down when when you're trying to appeal to everybody, because his whole thing is he wants to have movies that are being played globally instead of just having here. So the whole thing about that is that they say internationally and globally, all Black cast or Black movies don't appeal. And so he's trying to break that. But at the same time, it's just like, if you're trying to break that, don't compromise your position. Not saying that he is compromising himself, but certain things will actually suffer to cater to everybody like that when it shouldn't be like that, regardless. But I get it. I get it 100%. I get it.
I think it's
but yeah, man.
I think it's funny because I think my problem with Kevin Hart right now is just when people say your shit is whack, don't act like a baby. I think he's acting like a baby. Like, yeah, fuck you, you don't like my shit. I don't need you anyway. Like he's kind of reacting like a baby, which I understand feeling like that. Like feel like that. But you don't take to social media and put that shit out there, bro. Yeah. Like someone should have stopped But other than that, I think that whenever you are trying to get mainstream money, like I don't want to say white and black.
Yeah.
When you're trying to get mainstream money, you got to do mainstream things. And I think that Kevin Hart knows that he doesn't have the talent. I'm not saying as much talent. He doesn't have the type of talent to do what Chapelle did.
Right.
Like he knows that if he was to say, fuck y'all, I would say what I want to say. He knows that he's just not that type of person to make that work. He knows that Chapelle can make that work. Chapelle knows that he can make that work. If Chapelle felt that he couldn't make that work, Chapelle would be Kevin Hart. And I like the way, I love the way people like to Malcolm and Martin, Chapelle and Kevin Hart. I love that. I love the way people like to, Dave Chapelle is a fighter. He's a freedom fighter. He's a rebel. Dave Chapelle is a guy that knows what works for him, period. Stop trying to look at these people as if they're fucking Marcus Garvey. Dave Chapelle is a comedian who's selling a fucking product. He may have said, I don't want to sell my product this way. I want to sell it this way. But you better believe if he didn't think he could sell it this way, he'd be fucking selling it that way. Period.
But I disagree. The only reason why I disagree with that because we've been watching Dave Chapelle from jump. He always been the giving it and saying sticking it to the man, and saying sticking to the man.
Not really. Watch his older stand-up. It was regular stuff. It wasn't.
Hell no. Nigga, do you remember? No, but at the same time, remember he was trying to get on, so he couldn't be as he couldn't be as radical as he was.
And that proves my point. You just proved my point with that statement.
No, I'm talking about coming up. I'm talking about coming up because I said
that statement just proved my point.
Right, because I've been said that. Right, because I've been said that. But the thing is, no way did I say he was selling product.
Wait, brother. You know what I mean?
Right.
I just think that people like to look at him as if he's motherfucking Malcolm X. He's a comedian who's selling something, and he figured out a way that works for him. Now, granted, his morals wouldn't allow him to sell it a certain way, but I have to believe that if he got to a point to where he couldn't sell it this way, he'd be back over there semi-tap dancing.
Nah,
at this point in time, you think?
I don't because even
quit.
Because even this show, he's basically, if you want to say he's selling the product, he's selling himself as righteous and ratchet.
Get out!
I believe in Black Power. I believe in this.
You can't be yelling at people. That ain't your house.
She just came in yelling.
From your house, you can't be yelling at people.
I wasn't expecting for her to come in here yelling. So shut up. I was like, oh my God. I thought I told my mom to not come in here. So
get out of your damn living room.
Your living room. It's actually
doing that.
Yeah, man. But yeah, man. So I mean, shout out to both of them. Shout out to both of them doing it the way they have to do it, the way they want to do it, making millions and everything like that. I like both of them.
Mainstream, and that's the thing, man. A lot of times, Black folks like to pretend like our struggle is unique to everyone else. Everyone has similar struggles, bro. To make it in mainstream anything, you have to tap dance to the masses. It just so happens that the masses happens to be, white, heterosexual, blah, 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 blah. But in order to do anything mainstream, you have to tap dance to the mainstream market. Period.
Yeah, but I don't. You made a comment about like Dave Chapelle going back to tap dance. I don't see that. Like I think
that's what I'm saying. Or he would quit. Is what I said.
Yeah. Okay. Because I'm like, whatever tap dancing he's done.
I can see him quitting. And truthfully, I can see Kevin Hart quitting. I can see Kevin Hart saying, "Well, the way they want me to do it, I can't do that. Whether it's morally, whether it's talent-wise, I can't do that. So I'm going to pass the torch to somebody else."
He's I know he was saying something about him staying away from stand-up for a minute.
Kevin Hart?
Yeah, he was talking about he's gonna stay away from stand-up. He was talking about that on the Breakfast Club.
After this one, or he said that?
This one.
Okay.
I was talking to somebody.
Was he ever really into stand-up? Like, it was so many movies.
Oh,
Kevin Hart.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but they were so corny. I'm saying, like, how many good ones did he have?
His
What
his
you call it?
first couple stand-ups were great. What are you talking about?
All right.
Yeah, the first two, and we haven't had a real good one since then.
And he hasn't made one since then.
Yeah, he did. He made two real corny ones. One I went to go see, and I was real disappointed. I think I was with you. We probably left halfway through
The one to go see was good. We laughed.
Nah, this ain't the same one. I remember one we definitely was like, this is corny.
I don't know what you're talking about. When he was getting the fire on people, it was funny.
Yeah, that was his third.
If anything, I started to think that his movies and shit was corny. I thought his stand-up was always good.
Yeah.
I started to watching him in the movies and all his movies. This is every Kevin Hart movie. That's what he does in every movie. For whatever reason, he finds a reason to do this.
He's fighting. He's action star.
You know what I mean? I just was like, yo, that shit is not funny no more, bro. Like, so I still think his stand-ups are pretty good. I didn't see the new one though, but
I'm really excited to watch the new one. I've been trying to watch it. I just haven't found the time, but I'm gonna get to it probably this week.
Yeah, like I don't think he's the most talented. Like I always say this, I don't think he's a comedian. I think he's a funny person.
Yes.
I don't think he's a comedian. I don't think he writes jokes well. I don't think he does any of that well. He's just a funny dude. You know what I mean? And sometimes with a funny dude, you kind of reach this and you can't go past there. So you know what I mean? And I think he knows that. I think he knows that.
Yeah.
I mean, he's out. I like Kevin for what it is. I'm saying for what he does. I like him. But that's not like my go-to, like, oh my God, oh my God, yo, this new Kevin Hart specials out. I gotta watch it. Nah, it's not like my go-to. Cause it's not like I like the Dave Chappelle's, the George Carlin's, the freaking Chris Rock type of comedy. You know what I'm saying?
I'm not gonna front. I liked Kevin Hart's comedy about his family and little shit and all of that. I was really excited to see this. I like it too. I seen like a mix of reviews, and that's kind of what made me not run to it eagerly. But I'm like, I'm gonna get to it and check it out myself. Like I still want to watch it myself. But I've seen a lot of people say it was corny. Like he's rich and cracking rich jokes now.
But that's the shit though. Motherfuckers be adding extras onto shit. Like people who claim Tupac was the best rapper. Tupac was the best political figure that rapped. Best rapper? No. In my opinion, I like Chris Rock over Dave Chappelle. Chris Rock makes me laugh harder. I think Chris Rock's show, I'm sorry, was funnier than Dave Chappelle's show. Don't get me wrong. Dave Chappelle's show was more thought-provoking, more in-depth, all that shit. But as far as tears and I'm laughing, it's Chris Rock's show. I'm sorry.
Everybody hates Chris?
No, I'm talking about his show, the Chris Rock show.
Oh, I've never seen the Chris Rock show.
Yo, he got a sketch on there called Daddy Still Has a Flat Top. That's funnier than anything Dave Chappelle did. I'm sorry.
It's called the Chris Rock show. I'm about to YouTube it. Chris Rock show. Okay.
The sketch was about a little kid it was like an after school special about a little kid who's suffering because his father still has a flat top.
Which is fucking hilarious. But I can't say.
But because Dave Chappelle is radical, people like to place him higher, and that's unfair. And Dave Chappelle will tell you that.
I think Chris Rock, believe it or not, I think Chris Rock's more radical than Dave Chappelle.
Really?
Yo, when Chris Rock had the special talking about, how he was talking about how behind every great wealth there was a crime, and he was relating that to like rich white families and talking about that, and how he was talking about how we could get the same money, but we better not dare harm a white person while doing it and shit like that. He's way more radical. He says way more things.
I don't know if he's way more radical, but he's controversial. but he said in one of his sketches, he said that his next door neighbor is a dentist.
A dentist.
And he was like, in order for a black person to live next to a dentist, they got to be Chris Rock.
Yeah, which is fucking
a dentist.
Which was fucking hilarious. That shit was definitely hilarious. But nah, like it's like I definitely hold Dave Chappelle and Chris Rock to the same standard, but Dave Chappelle just a little bit more for me.
I mean, I love Chapelle, bro. I love Chapelle. I just think that this whole woke generation puts him at the top of the pyramid because he says some radical shit. And one thing's got nothing to do with the other. It's about who has the best product.
Yeah.
But you don't think that Chris Rock says woke shit too, though?
Yeah, he does. But he's not the woke champion. Dave Chappelle is.
Because you know why? There's
Rock ain't out here doing shit.
There's a big age discrepancy between the two. You gotta remember, Chris Rock's almost 60. Dave Chappelle is early 40s. So there's a discrepancy. Chris Rock came up under Eddie Murphy. Yep. Dave Chappelle came up under Chris Rock. So you know what I'm saying, there's a big age discrepancy. That's why, as far as for that. So, but yeah, man, but I love them both. I love them both.
Nope, I'm more of a Chris Rock, maybe Kevin Hart, before Dave Chappelle. I didn't like Dave Chappelle until as an adult. When I used to watch the Chappelle show, certain things were funny, but not everything. Certain skits were fucking hilarious, but not every time I watched a Dave Chappelle show, I was like in tears. Some of them was like, this is corny. Even when I watch it,
Dave Chappelle's last 13 Netflix comedy things I didn't watch.
I did. And hilarious. When he talked,
because I was like, yo, you're gonna sit through an hour and a half lecture with like 4 jokes in it. The jokes are gonna be great.
Nope.
And you're gonna hear lectures that you already agree with. So
the shit when he broke down how he met OJ 4 times, and the way he broke the shit each time, that shit was fucking brilliant how he did that. Yeah. And the time, let's say the last time he was like, yo, I think that nigga did that shit. Come on now. Like, yo, that shit was hilarious.
Yeah, that was funny.
Yo, his shit. And then I'm saying the one that we went to go see at the I'm saying in Hanover.
Yeah.
I was talking about he was like, yeah, 1969, such happened, and this and that, and the war happened, and this is that, and meanwhile the war on drugs and blah blah blah, this that. All that happened, all that happened while Bill Cosby was raping some shit.
Yeah.
So the way he broke that, that was fucking brilliant.
Yeah. So he has that good bring it back joke. He does that, like he'll bring it back to something he said earlier. Brilliant. You know what I'm saying? Brilliant.
And he has a joke about that when he said, yo, I'm so good, I'm going to tell you something in the beginning of this comedy special, and at the end, I'm going to find a way to bring it back. Watch.
Yeah.
And then, that shit was, and the way he broke that joke down, it was so good.
But you do understand that existed. Like, he didn't create it.
No, definitely, no. Come on now. Nigga, as long as we've been watching comedy, come on now. I'm saying, nigga, I've been there. I'm saying, we've been there. We've been through all that. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man. So I got one more thing. On social media, right? When you find out that you've been unfriended by the friend that you really don't fuck with. You know what I'm saying? Like, because I was on there, I'm over here scrolling through, and I find out I've been unfriended, but I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Like, I really didn't know this person. I really didn't fuck with this person. I probably just seen this person. And then now it's just like, in my head, I'm thinking like, oh, they think they got one over me because they unfriended me. Like, surprise, bitch. I didn't even fucking know who the fuck you was. I didn't fuck with you in the beginning anyway. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yeah, man. Sometimes I'm saying, it's like, I look at that, I'm like, look at God. You know what I'm saying? Or one, you in the first place. That's a little observation.
So whenever I see the memories from last year, whatever it's called, I always scroll to the bottom and see the people who liked it that I'm not friends with anymore.
Yeah.
And I kind of wonder what happened Like, it's interesting to me. Like, what happened to make you say, nah, chill, I don't fuck with Demario like that? You know what I'm saying? And that's about it. Like, I don't really care past that.
Yeah, I don't necessarily give it no thought. I've been like, I realized it like kind of the same way you said, Callie, like, what the hell? Dang, I didn't even know you unfollowed me, but okay. And I just take it as, well, damn, that's cool. I didn't really, hurt. But what really gets me is when they come back with a friend request. No, boo. stay in your lane. You done deleted me. You can stay right where you are. I am all the way all set. Whatever your reason for not wanting to follow me no more, keep that same energy. Stay right there. I'm like, why didn't you accept my friend request? I'd be like, I thought we were friends. Why are we not friends when you just put through a new request? What happened?
And motherfuckers really stop fucking with you. Oh, nigga don't ever like my shit in the first place. Like, motherfucker, I don't even be on there like that to be over here. Like, I like this person's shit. Oh, I like through this shit. Sometimes I go through some shit. The fuck I say, and I get the fuck out of there. That's it. That shit.
The shit that gets me, the shit that gets me is motherfuckers that have 6 different Facebooks that come back all the time with a new request for you. It's like, yo, after your 3rd one, I'm not accepting no more.
Yeah. And and it sucks because when birthdays come up, you be like, yo, which one are you?
Which one do I tag? That's how it should. My mom has different pages.
What the fuck? Yeah, I hate that shit.
Well, why do you have to create so many pages?
Yo, and I take that as old people shit. Cause you must have forgot your password. And it's like, oh, make a new one. I'm like, what the fuck? And then I hate when the fuckers be using the all the other accounts. Yeah. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, I hate that. That's just mad confusing. But yeah, Regan. Another thing as far as with the whole friendship. No, with the memory shit. With the memory shit. Sometimes when the memories post, I'll click on it and I'll look back at a lot of shit, and it'll be like shit from like 2010, 2011, and like certain shit I'm seeing, I'm just like, oh my god, I don't even think like that no more.
Exactly.
Like, let me get rid.
God, we just literally said that. Like, the growth that can happen, and just like, I don't even care about that anymore, or that wouldn't even bother me. Or the shit you put up there, like, oh my god, I'm glad nobody's seen this back then. Or I'm not saying this for now.
Hell yeah. Like, yo, why'd I say that? Let me delete this shit. I was like, what the hell? What the fuck was I thinking?
Imagine having memories pop up with your ex and you're like, this was the love of my life. And 5 years later, you're not even with them anymore. Like, nothing matters for her. And then all of a sudden she's married to someone else.
That shit would be insane. I know that shit's funny.
Sometimes I want to repost my memories just to say. I'm like, do you still think this is true? You tagged me in this. You love me at this point. You still love me this time?
But that's the thing that people be fucking up on. Like, they meet someone and get all carried away with it, and then start talking about how great that person is. And then 6 months, whatever later, that person is no longer in their life, and they're
no longer that great
about doing me and shit like that. It's like, you sound crazy.
That's why I just don't put relationship shit out on fucking. That's why I just feel that relationship stuff shouldn't be posted on social media, because you never know. And then now it's like, all right, you know what I'm saying? You break up with that person and you get back with that person, then you break up with that person, you're posting it, talking about, oh, I'm done. Oh, I'm saying, yo, I look like the clown, whatever. Then you get back with that person and shit like that. And it's just like, yo, how many times you gonna break up with this person and unbreak up with this person? Like what the hell is that? I mean, yo, motherfuckers look crazy to me.
Facts. Kind of like Summer Walker and London on the Track.
Kind of like what?
Summer Walker and London on the Track.
I don't know who those people are.
And that's why this is the perfect chemistry, because Kishana is like, yes, she is a couple years younger than us, and you can tell. Is certain shit that she said, certain shit that she cares about, you be like,
I don't know who those people are.
Wow, I know you're not gonna know, Demario, because you're barely watching. And then Kylie, we might be in a different generation, so you ain't really give a fuck about them people and you don't know them. But Summer Walker is an R&B artist in London.
I know Summer Walker is
the producer. They are in a very toxic relationship. They've been in a toxic relationship for probably like 2 years, and now she's pregnant. She was pregnant. She just announced her pregnancy maybe a couple of weeks ago. They posted it all over all types of blogs and stuff. The next week, there's a picture of them in the bathroom trying to hug and smile. And then yesterday is a bunch of stories that she created on her IG talking about she was a dummy. She's a clown. Black men need to do better as being fathers. Her grandfather ain't shit. Her father ain't shit. And now this nigga ain't shit. I'm stupid and now I'm pregnant. So, she's an artist. So, all of these artists that get pregnant and think, okay, I'm great and I'll be okay to snap back and get back into it. Sometimes it doesn't happen. And sometimes you resent that and you can kind of put that child in a bad place, bringing them into such a toxic situation. They were in a very toxic, like they broke up, like you said, got back together, like the whole quarantine. So why, when October she announced she's pregnant, everybody's like, bitch, why? Like, how did you let that happen? And then the other day she said, bitch, why? I don't know how I let this happen. She said it herself. So,
yeah, I mean, getting pregnant, I don't know, that can happen.
And it also can't.
Yeah, but getting pregnant several times, it's like, what do you
also can't. You can also go 34 years and not get pregnant once.
But what I'm talking about is
by trying to prevent it with preventative maintenance.
What I'm talking about is if you're dealing with someone and it's an unhealthy, toxic relationship, just because it's unhealthy and toxic, sometimes the penis and vagina will still go into each other. I understand that.
Of course.
I'm not saying that's cool, but it makes sense.
Yeah, of course. But if you know you're fucking toxic.
If the penis goes into the vagina, a baby could come out sometimes.
Yes, but if you know you're messing with someone that's toxic, you'll be a little bit more careful in making sure that person doesn't get a chance to shoot up your club.
I agree. All I'm saying is that's not as crazy as making a mental decision to fuck with them beyond that. Is what I'm saying. Making a decision to let your toxic ass ex have sex with you is one thing. Making a decision to try it again is crazy. Or you know what? Some people might say it's the same decision. I don't know.
Say it one more time.
Kind of is.
I'm saying making a decision to have sex with a toxic ex is one thing. Making a decision to take them back and try it again is another thing. But some people might say that nope, this is the same decision. I don't know.
Yeah, same thing. This is the same thing. Because if you with your ex, and you guys start having sex, you get what I'm saying, you guys are back.
Those are soul ties. Like having sex with someone, that's exchanging energy. Why would I want to exchange this toxic negative energy with this person? Like a man that beats me, I'm not going to be like, ooh, let me have you have him busted open for you because you're my man. Like, I'm not excited. You're an abusive man. Like, you're probably halfway making me, perform these acts with you, and I'm uncomfortable with it. So
some women, some women are willing to take an ass whooping when it comes to good sex.
A bitch could never what?
Done. I'm saying.
You're gonna take your ass. You're gonna get your ass beat for good pussy, Kylie? You're gonna have an abusive. Is your wife abusive? And it's okay because it's your wife.
Listen, I'm gonna say, you be like,
Let me stop. We're not gonna incriminate nobody.
What goes through a person's mind in an abusive relationship to be like, yo, you know what? Even though, I know this motherfucker whoop my ass, but goddamn, that sex is good. You know what? I'm saying, let me get this sex, and then hopefully this motherfucker don't swing on me. You know what I'm saying? If I say some out of pocket shit or some shit that he thought or she thought that was out of pocket. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying some niggas disregard ass whoopings for good sex. It happens. It happens.
So here's the thing.
Can I we had an opinion about what we were talking about when it came to toxic relationship from a guest. Can I have them say their opinion? Because they had
we have a guest? When the fuck do we have a guest?
They just walked in.
Oh,
we got a guest.
Oh, go ahead.
Okay.
Come on, guest.
You're a guest on the show. Would you like to tell them what your opinion is?
Yeah, let's hear this guest comment. It better not be Miss Keithy.
She said to Mario, don't do her like that. She's coming.
Okay, so I'm not 100% sure who it is. So.
Well, they're trying to see her. She's doing something at the second. So she's gonna speak. Can you hear her?
Yeah, I can hear.
I forgot what was going on, but what you were saying about Summer Walker getting pregnant by this guy, she's in a toxic relationship and she should have more sense than that. But the whole idea of a toxic relationship is illogical. It doesn't make sense. So people don't make rational decisions when they're doing things in a toxic relationship. It's all stupid.
And so, that's kind of why I say the sex isn't as crazy as, oh, we gonna try it again, girl. I don't, you know. You know, that's why I say, like, if you're in a toxic relationship and you're like, listen, I will have sex with you, but that's it. That seems to make a little bit of sense.
Yeah, but I think that you should have preventative things in place so the baby doesn't come. Or even if, you know, even if it was a slip up, there's a plan B.
Who does that?
Well, even if it's a slip up, there's a plan B. So we're not thinking ahead. So I'm not on birth control and I'm having unprotected sex with my toxic ex. That's fine. So maybe he didn't pull out, or, you know, whatever the case is, and I can go get a plan B tomorrow because he's toxic and I don't want to be tied to this man for the rest of my life. Or when I do find out I'm pregnant, depending on if you're pro-life, you can go ahead and, you know, take your choice at the abortion clinic if that's what you like to do, because he's toxic. The crazy part, like you said, is let's try it again. Or now I'm pregnant, let's see if we can do it with the baby. Like, we couldn't do it by ourselves. We damn sure ain't doing it with the baby.
Well, I look at it ways. Some people will try to get pregnant thinking that will solve the toxicity of the relationship, and that would probably make him or her see something in a different light, see something in a different way, to the point where things could be easier, and we probably work on this. They'll think more rational to that.
Mm-hmm.
Never saying that's never the case. I'm saying that's never the case.
I don't think anyone has ever seen the baby situation make it better. I don't think
it made it worse. It makes it worse to me.
Yeah, I don't know where anyone thinks. I don't know where that comes from. That idea.
People actually think that. Like, I've heard females say that out their mouth.
Well, or how many?
Maybe different. Maybe he'll change now that I'm pregnant. What? Okay.
Or even a motherfucker will be like, "Yo, let me get this person pregnant. Now I can always have a reason to be in that person's life." Some motherfuckers.
Talk about the niggas that are trapping, because niggas trap real good, successful people on their way and think like, "Let me hurry up and shoot up this club because this is someone I want to keep around."
Niggas, girl, listen. I'm gonna say that leans 75-25% more to the women as far as trapping.
Men out here that's doing it too, though, just as heavy.
Oh, of course.
You don't think men out here trapping women?
Of course,
all of these drug dealers who done had kids with good women, they ain't trapping. I don't think it was the good woman who was like, not every situation where it was like, let me let him get me pregnant.
Why does a good woman having sex with a drug dealer? Because
they like bad boys. You can have sex, right? Right? You just said that. You can have sex.
No, that's not what I said. What I said was two people who were fucking each other, who continue to just fuck each other, makes more sense than someone trying to make it work with someone that they know is not going to work with. That's what I said.
And that's what they're doing with their drug dealer boyfriend.
Look, you brought up the drug dealer thing. All I'm saying is,
I just don't see how that makes more. I just don't see how that makes sense. A drug dealer trying to trap a good woman.
Because she's gonna be in his corner. She's gonna take care of him. She's gonna do whatever he needs. Why not?
Or she's gonna move on.
She might be in law school. She might be.
Exactly. That's why I don't understand. It's like how.
She also what?
Or she's gonna move on to the next drug dealer. See, typically, the woman who was into that sort of thing, we can't always think that it's the innocent, good, heart of gold woman that's with these niggas. You know what I mean?
But you also want to look at it as just because they've dated one drug dealer doesn't mean that they're into drug dealers.
Right.
It's not. But a lot of times when they get that taste, that's all they got that taste for.
Yeah, it's hard to go. What type of steak did you have? That prime rib steak to the dry ass steak? It's hard to go from one to the other. It's like, well, damn, this shit. Who wants stuffing or who wants to dress it? Like, which one do you go pick?
You should see the look of love in a female's eyes the first time you smack in the head with your gun.
What?
It's like
I've never seen that. I've never had that happen.
I mean, you don't.
I've never been in love. I guess I haven't been in love yet.
You don't hit them hard. You just gotta go, and they have this.
And deep with that, she either gonna leave or adapt.
Let her pull out her own and hit your ass back. Look at crazy.
That's how she gonna adapt. She's like, oh, Nick, like, oh, Nick, hold on.
He's like, oh, we out here busting? She ready.
Like, oh, that's how she adapt. Believing? She be like, yo, I like life. I kind of like this shit. You know what? Fuck it, I made it.
He's spitting over here.
I fuck with this dude.
Exactly. And in that, and saying the little voice in her head said, "You fucked up. You joined the gang." Gang. But yeah, man. I think that's about it.
All right.
Been on for an hour and a half. You know. Yo, y'all motherfuckers better come back for Christmas so we could do a in-person show.
I'm about to buy my ticket right now.
Okay.
There you go.
Buy my ticket right now.
Because I'm definitely
on the flight. I gotta bring my mom back with me, so I'm gonna have to buy that ticket after.
There you go. There you go. Well, all right, yo. That about wraps this motherfucking show. I go by the name of Cobra Karate. Cobra Karate.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And it's D-Mobile across the global.
And it's your only girl, KI double, holding it down.
And anonymous.
Oh, guess
and
what?
Anonymous guest. Yes.
One thing to say. Have you ever had Popeye's apple pies?
No.
I don't think so.
So, you remember how McDonald's had the fried apple pies and they switched to them bullshit baked shits?
Yeah.
Why Popeye's got the fried apple pies? And at the same time, they put the cinnamon and sugar on top of it. Best motherfucking thing I had today.
I've never had any of the apple pies, actually.
I've had McDonald's apple pies. I never had Popeye's apple pies.
And the McDonald's apple pies back in the day used to be fried. And they used to fucking taste amazing. And then they went to them bullshits. Them bullshits is trash. Now Popeye's got the baked apple pie. I mean the fried joints. They fucking great. That's all I gotta say. They got about 6 of them shits today.
Stay out of Popeyes, bro. Stay out of Popeyes.
I ate 3. Let them niggas figure it out in my house. Yeah, yo. Wanted to let that know. But yeah, well, we out here.
Bye.
And we won't have to find